What's going on, guys? It's Rick NSX coming at you from DCS today. So we are going to be jumping into the second mission of this campaign. So the campaign we are on is Operation Reforger, and the mission is called BARCAP. So I'll give you a little more detail about that as we jump into this thing. But before we do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that I know you guys are consuming the content. And then hit that notification bell so that you know when I post new content on the channel. So without further ado, let's jump in.
On the flight deck, stand clear of the bow and the starboard catwalks. Now launching aircraft on the bow and the waist. Stand clear on the bow and the waist. We got 27 knots. Shoot 'em.
Uzi 4, your flight will launch second after Pontiac. Rejoin with the Viking and assume your cap station ASAP in order to relieve Uzi 3. Remember, your primary mission is BARCAP. Any data that you can gather about enemy defenses will be welcome. Alpha Whiskey will be on star on 225. Good luck.
Uzi 4. Okay, let's get going. We'll fly out 7 nautical miles and then turn northeast to rejoin with the tanker. We'll recap the briefing on the way. Ready when you are.
Alright, so our first mission since we've arrived here, so we are going to pop off the deck. We are going to fly out 7 miles, hang a left-hand turn, fly northeast, and we'll wait for our wingman to catch up. We're going to head to the refueling plane, and then we will go to station. On the way, you're going to hear the Rio give us an update on our actual mission. Ultimately, we are flying a BARCAP, so it's a barrier combat air patrol, so we are going to be up there to make sure that the northern bogeys don't come south and try to intercept the aircraft carrier. And then as we're up there, we may see some traffic, may have to mitigate some of that, so we'll just see how it goes, but that's kind of the gist of it. As you can see, it's a little late in the evening. It's about I don't know, 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock on the dot, and so we will, it's going to be a late one, so we'll see how this goes.
Pontiac 3, airborne.
Alright, so we are coming up to that left-hand turn. We're almost 7 miles out. Heard our wingman is off the deck, wheels up. Oh, no, 2 is rolling now. 2 is rolling now. So there's 7 miles. We will go ahead and break
7
left.
nautical miles in the DME. Let's turn left to steer point 1 and climb flight level 180. We'll head straight for Arco. Remember, TACAN 31 Yankee. Don't forget to set it to air, or if you'd like, let me know if you want me to do it.
Alright, I think I can manage the TACAN. So we're going to fly up to 18,000 feet, flight level 180. And we're going to meet up with Arco, which is the tanker. At which point I'm going to let my wingman refuel. I probably won't, but he'll burn a lot of fuel catching up to me. So I'll go ahead and let him refuel. And then we will head over to our BARCAP station, and we will see what's cracking.
Let's quickly recap the briefing. We're to fly a BARCAP 1+30 between steer point 2 and steer point 3. Primary mission is to keep any possible threats away from the carrier. Additionally, we're to help with VID of airborne, naval, or land targets as requested. Alpha Whiskey will be Dark Star in the E2. Strike Group North will operate about 40 nautical miles north of the carrier group. We ourselves will be about 40 nautical miles north of Bunker Hill. Additionally, we'll also be about 40 nautical miles south of Russian territorial waters. So let's keep our heads on a swivel. We'll check in with Dark Star once we're off the tanker. And finally, let's make sure we get home in one piece. By the time we recover, it'll be dark, so it'll be case 3 tonight. Other than that, if you don't have anything else, I think that's it.
Alright, so there you have it. We are going to be bar capping on a 1+30, hour and 30 minute bar cap. We're going to be visual IDing basically anything and everything that gets called out on our behalf, and it's going to be dark when we fly back in. So if you remember the last mission, if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch it because it was something. But ultimately we did carrier requals in beautiful weather during the middle of the day. It was actually 4 o'clock, but so we are going to be landing at night, so that's new. Hopefully that goes well. It'll be a case 3, so we'll just figure that out as we fly, I guess. We have not done one of those, not once, in any of the missions or campaigns that we've done, so it'll be a new experience. So you guys get to come along for a ride with me. So at this point we are just flying to the tanker, which is actually not too far ahead of us here, so we're going to get out to 18,000. We're going to connect with the tanker. Like I said, I'm going to let my wingman refuel. Should be a pretty quick refuel, and then we will flip a U-turn. Maybe not a U-turn. We will just head towards waypoint 2 at that point, and we will traverse between waypoint 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and get up there, get to the tanker, and we'll go from there. Alright, so you can hear them calling out mud spikes, so...
We're about 10 nautical miles away from Marco. Time to call in and rejoin. I'll let you do the honors.
Alright, so we're about 10 nautical miles out from the tanker.
Marco, 1-1, Uzi, 4-1, request rejoin.
Friendly, raw, 040, 8 miles. Angels, 18.
4-1, Marco, 1-1, proceed to break.
Friendly, Viking, 1 o'clock, 7 miles.
Flight, hit the tanker.
Alright, those are some nails, 2 o'clock.
Alright, we've got some nails. We've gone ahead and let our flight know they need to join up on the tanker. So we'll fly kind of over there in that general direction. He's just here off to my right. So we'll fly over there. Like I said, we'll let him hook up, get fueled, and then we will head over. In the event this takes forever, maybe I'll go ahead and refuel. I guess we'll just have to see how this goes. I don't want to burn a ton of fuel, but I also don't want to burn fuel in a holding pattern. I don't want him to burn fuel while he's in the holding pattern waiting for me. It's just, yeah, so we'll just see how this refueling goes. Right now, I mean, we haven't burned anything. We've been flying at 70% throttle, probably 80%. So,
Angels 32.
yeah, so nothing major. We haven't burned much fuel at all, so probably not worth us refueling at this point. But we will let him refuel. We'll head to waypoint 2, and we'll do some circles and see what pops up. It's a beautiful evening up here at flight level 180, 190. So we'll join up, and we'll see if we can do this thing. Alright, so you can see our wingman down there to our right at our 1 o'clock. He is headed to meet with the tanker. So he's obviously... See, and this is the thing. Like, the wingman, he just... Everything he does is at, like, full throttle. I mean, all of it. So, I burn, like, a quarter of a tank of fuel, and he's, like, I'm bingo. Got to return to the ship. Like, what are you doing, my man? I'm not even. We're not flying all that fast. Like, what's your deal? It is what it is. So he's gonna connect with the tanker up here. Right here in front of us. And then once he's connected, he'll fill up, and then we're actually a hop, skip, and a jump from waypoint 2. And we'll fill up, or he'll fill up. We'll hop, skip, and jump right on over there, and then we'll do some circles in the sky to make sure that no bad guys come and attack us or attack our carrier. Okay, and just like a race car, we have blown by the tanker, which was not my intention. I just threw out the speed brakes a little late. Now we're slowing down. We'll have to let him catch back up. Looks like my wingman is about half a mile behind him in tow. So we will slow down. Like I said, we're going to wait for him to catch up. We obviously got to wait on our wingman. I did not mean to blow by him at that speed. That was completely accidental. I guess I underestimated how slow he was going, or overestimated how slow I was going. Clearly wasn't going as slow as I thought I was. So we will just loiter. We'll wait for the two of them to pass overhead. Here comes the wingman. Tanker should be out front already. Yeah, there he is. Our wingman is basically directly above us now, so we'll go ahead and fly up behind him. We'll go ahead and fly into formation, kind of hang out here with him. As soon as he's off the back of the tanker, we will head towards waypoint 2. So we'll just go ahead and kind of get here, kind of in position to watch it happen. Once he's disconnected, we will get out of here. So y'all just hang tight, and we will be heading out in just a second.
Ready for contact. Uzi 4-1, Arco 1-1, chicks in tow, 1 mile trail at 17,000.
Alright, so you can see him there. He is in tow. He's being refueled as we speak. It's a little hard to see, but as I drift a little to the right, you'll be able to see the cable. There you go. So you might be able to see that. I don't know. Depends on what device you're watching and maybe the resolution. But he is down there. He is connected. That might be a better view. And so, again, we haven't really burned anything, so I think I'm just going to, when he's done, we're gonna jet, literally and figuratively. So we'll just kind of wait back here, assuming this doesn't take forever. Right? We've started a gentle turn. That'll be fun. Yeah, at this point, once he disconnects, because I don't want to make the full U-turn with him and then head back, so once he disconnects, we'll just get out of here. Go ahead and set steer point 2, so that when he disconnects, we can just get out of here. Alright. Anytime today. Like, how much fuel could you have possibly used, right? I mean, I know a ton, because he runs everything in Afterburner. Alright, he has disconnected. Yeah. Should we go for it? Nah. Okay. So he's rejoining. We're gonna bolt. So let's do this. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to fly to waypoint 2, which is around the corner here. And then we're going to fly to waypoint 3, and then back to waypoint 2, and then back to waypoint 3. And for good measure, back to waypoint 2 probably. And then back to waypoint 3. And we're going to do that for an hour and a half. So, we're going to skip some of that unless something fun pops up, at which point I will bring you guys back in. So, let's get to the cap. And then I'm going to do a couple of laps. We'll do a couple of laps between 2 and 3. And then if something pops up, I will bring you guys back in. So, see you in a minute.
Dark Star, Uzi 4 on station. Bowl time 1+30. Loadout 2 by 3 by 2. 670 rounds gun.
Uzi 4, Dark Star. Maintain cap stations, please. Flight level 320.
Uzi 4.
Uzi 3, Dark Star. You are cleared RTB. Uzi 3.
Alright, so that took us a touch longer than I anticipated, but we are on station. We are headed to waypoint 3. Yeah, so it was indeed 7 minutes to get here. So we are just going to fly some formation. We're going to do some laps, some circuits, back and forth between 2 and 3. And we'll be back if anything else happens. Here we go. Lap 1. Alright guys, well welcome back. We have just been flying laps up here for the last 10 minutes. We are actually coming up on waypoint 2 again. So we've flown to waypoint 3 twice now, 3 times. I've lost count. We've been up here about 10 minutes though. We've only got an hour and 20 minutes left, basically. So, I dropped back in because as you can see on the radar there is a bogey that is flying our direction that they've been keeping an eye on. So Dark Star's been keeping an eye on and has asked us to keep an eye on.
Yep.
But we are at waypoint 2. We're going to go ahead and turn around and go to waypoint 3. But they are closing in on our position. So I think if they turn towards the carrier group, they're going to be in trouble. But if not, and I don't know, they may have us track them. I'm not real sure. But they've got an eye on this guy. So let's see what happens here. So stick with me. We'll jump in for a couple minutes. If something happens, we will...
Uzi 4, Dark Star. Intercept the bogey to your northwest for VID. If possible, remain undetected.
Uzi 4, intercepting bogey for VID. Okay, that transport is to the northwest of us. Let's drop below the contrails and come up behind him. Easy with the cans. We need fuel for another good hour.
Well, there you go. I wish they'd have told me that about 30 seconds earlier so I didn't make the U-turn. But, so we are going to get below the contrails. As you can see kind of in the mirror there on the right side, there are contrails. So we're going to get down below, try to stay undetected. So we'll go down. We will U-turn behind them. We'll come back up behind them. And we'll trail them until we find out what they're doing. So, yeah, let's do that. So they are not on radar because that would be too easy. But we kind of know where they're at. So we'll just fly out that direction and we'll keep an eye on the ceiling above us. I'm sure we'll get call-outs from Jester as well. And once we have him, we'll flip a U-turn and get up behind him and kind of, we'll ghost. We'll be a ghost in the most unstealth aircraft of all time. Alright, so we are under cons. So we will stay at this level and 24 miles ahead. So we will close that gap pretty quick, flip a U-turn, and get up behind him. So hang tight.
Flight, join up.
Here we go again. There is a bandit. IL-76, 12 o'clock high, 10 miles.
Alright, so 12 o'clock at 10 miles puts him basically directly above us in the clouds, or above the clouds that we are under.
High.
Yep, so gonna just have to kind of time this, because there's no way I'm going to be able to see him through the clouds. Probably.
Okay, speed 380. 11 o'clock high.
The bandit is a Russian IL-76 painted Aeroflot.
Copy Uzi 4. Stand by.
Speed 350. 2 o'clock high.
Uzi 4.
Painted
All
Aeroflot.
right, 310.
This guy is trying to sneak around the sky as a commercial airplane. Get out of here with that. I ought to shoot him down just for being dumb. Okay, not really, because that would be international relations disaster.
Uzi 4, Dark Star.
Track on our nose.
Till the eastern
Passing 250.
If the target remains on course, resume your station. Pontiac will intercept it for
220 knots.
Uzi 4, copy. We'll stay on his tail.
We're slow at 190.
Until we reach steer point 3, then we'll resume our station.
Slow at 170.
Alright, so we will just pull up behind him, escort him out of our AO, assuming he leaves or doesn't turn in. And then we'll go back to making circles in the sky. So, yeah, there's that. Nice little moon there. Never mind.
Looking good. We're on a 6.
We are on a 6, so there you can see his contrails. We're going to be pulling up into the cons as well. As we get up to his elevation. So we'll just kind of poke up behind him. He won't know we're there because we'll be directly in his on his 6 o'clock.
We're on a 6. Be angry now.
And I'm apparently getting suggestions from Jester to shoot this guy down. Which, you know, not useful. Not a useful suggestion at all. So let's just see how this plays out, but we'll just pull in behind him. So here we go. Alright, so we used a little editing magic because we've been following this guy for like 3 days now, but we are finally cleared to return to our BARCAP. He has passed kind of what they were expecting him to, if he was going to turn off, we would have intercepted, but at this point he's just following straight along his path, so we're going to let it fly, literally.
Pew pew. Closing.
So we're going to go ahead and flip a U-turn. We're actually near waypoint 3. So we'll head back to waypoint 2. We'll fly over to waypoint 3 and then head back to waypoint 2. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do laps. So you can kind of turn and look, I guess. But yeah, that guy's gone. He's getting out of here. Bugging out and going home. You can see him way out there in the distance. Continuing his trip across the world, I guess. I don't know. So we'll just go ahead and we're gonna head over, and then we'll jump back in if anything else pops up.
Uzi 4, Dark Star. Be advised. Another large aircraft is approaching from the north, and we believe it to be another IO.
Roger. Switching to steer point 2.
Uzi 4, do you want us to intercept?
Negative. The target seems to be turning east along the coast and staying in Russian waters. Maintain station, but keep an eye on the target.
Uzi 4.
Alright, so there you go. There is a second IL-74, I think is what it was. So we will keep an eye, but we are not to engage, not to chase down at this moment. So I'll get back to you if any other developments pop up. Alright, after a 9-minute hiatus.
Dark Star, Bunker Hill. We've detected a group of 3 vessels from our position bearing 325 for 80. Copeland is on her way to intercept, but will be approximately 2 hours based on current speed and course. Request VID from the air, over.
Hey, don't laugh. The guy served with my dad, came here as an expat and earned his citizenship. Now he's a captain.
Bunker Hill, Dark Star. We're sending a pair of F-14s.
Much obliged. Bunker Hill, over.
Uzi 4, Dark Star. Contact Bunker Hill for VID of possible enemy trade shipping.
Uzi 4.
Alright. Let's connect with Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill, Uzi 4, ready for tasking.
Uzi 4, Bunker Hill. We want you to VID a group of 3 unknown vessels from your position, roughly bearing 305 to 65 miles. We want you to overfly and report ship type, registration, and if possible, cargo. Over.
Uzi 4, copy. Heading 305 for VID. Okay, turn 305 and descend to 5,000 feet. Once we're closer, we'll descend further and use pulse to find and ID them. Keep an eye on the fuel as well. We'll be there soon enough. How's your fuel, 2?
I'd say it's fine. We got 10 plus left.
Excellent. Alright, so we will descend to 5,000 feet on a heading of 305. And we'll go see if we can find some ships on the water. That shouldn't be too hard at all at night in the ocean in the middle of nowhere.
We should be within 15 nautical miles now. The ships should be roughly bearing 315. Let's descend to 1,200 feet and see if we can find them with PAL.
Alright, so after flying for another 9 minutes, we are kind of in position, so we're in the general vicinity. So we are going to change direction just a little bit. Wait a minute. So this guy says turn 315, but
11 miles.
I was going to say, but I've got him visual right here in front of us. Bang. We are locked on. So what we'll do is we will fly over. We are descending. So we'll fly over overhead. We will visually identify these 3 ships, and then we'll see what the Bunker Hill wants to do. Hopefully we're not going to spend 10 days making circles around these ships. Hopefully he lets us take off, because they've got a group on the way here. They were just, a couple hours out.
6 miles.
So 6 miles away. Let's see what we got. It looks like tankers, but let's get a little closer and see what we've got.
Over.
It's hard to tell in the dark, but it does not appear that way. Uzi 4.
Are they slowing down? Over.
I lost lock. Negative, Bunker Hill. It does not look like it.
Thank you, Uzi 4. We'll hand you off to Dark Star. Goodbye. Over.
Goodbye. Dark Star, Uzi 4, VID complete.
Uzi 4, Dark Star. You are cleared RTB. Uzi 7 is already in the vicinity to relieve you from your station. Contact Stennis or Shell on 225.
Shell or Stennis on 225, Uzi 4. RTB it is then. We want to be marshalling at 8,000 feet, about 20 nautical miles behind the boat for the Case 3. Let's go home.
Alright, and just like that, we are RTB to the boat. So, we will head that direction. It is going to be a night landing, it looks like. So, we will Case 3, marshals behind the boat. And, well, I assume that's where it's going to be. We'll check in and they'll give us some direction. But so we'll fly to the boat, get into a holding pattern. Once we get ready to land, I will add you guys back into this, and we will go from there. So here we go.
Platform.
101, roger.
Alright, after literally 20 minutes of flying back and then flying in a small circle to Marshall while we waited for our entry time, we are on our way in. We have called for platform, as you just heard. We're dropping gear, flaps, hook, speed brakes up, DLC up, and so we are getting ready to land. So we are flying to the right, basically, of where our final track's going to be. So we've got to line up at 92, at heading 9092. That is the final heading for the runway on the ship. So the carrier deck is angled, so we're going to be coming in at 092 degrees, which is almost east, almost directly east. But we've got to fly a little bit south to line up the system and get lined up with the deck. So that's kind of what we're doing now. But we are just about there, so we're going to hang a left here and get online with the deck. And then from there, we will just fly straight in, basically. So it is a Case 3 recovery, which means that we marshal outside, and then instead of flying to the ship and then doing the landing, the pattern, we are going to fly out of Marshall. We are going to fly direct to the ship, and then land directly from that angle, instead of making a lap around the ship, because at dark, or in Case 3, I guess, making a lap is really not going to give you enough sight distance to track and identify the deck. So yeah, so we are going to see if we can put this on the deck the first time. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a long night, and we are beyond bingo fuel at this point. So it's just best we get this thing on the deck first time. So stick with me as we get into this. We are kind of floating that direction. We're at good pace. We're at a good altitude. So we are slowly descending as we get in there. You can see the ship off to the left there. It's actually really hard in the dark to see that. But it is slowly coming into view. I'm kind of cutting it to the left. And we will bring it around. It's the flashing light, and that's the flashing light on the back of the deck of the boat to let us know when we get lined up with it. So that was an accident. I did not mean to recheck in at platform. But yeah, so we will bring that flashing light, basically. So as it starts flashing slower, means we're getting closer to the center line of the deck. And so yeah, we will this is not my favorite thing. Like I said, first night landing in any mission, so it's definitely going to be interesting. So let's hang tight and stick with me if you want to see what happens, or close your eyes, which is probably the better option if you don't want to see what happens. And hopefully we'll be on the deck in just a minute.
Oh, I'm showing nails 11 o'clock.
I mean, I guess if they want to fight, I am fully loaded, but I'm going to have to get on the deck first, get some fuel. But I think I could get fuel in time to take back off and shoot those guys down. So it's probably in their best interest to just leave us alone. Probably, I would think. Plus there's another BARCAP up, so Uzi 7's up in our place, so yeah, I don't think that'd be a great idea. Master caution on. Low on fuel is what that's going to be telling me. We are like 7 miles from the deck, so I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit on the HUD. We'll zoom in on the front window, basically. And we will try to put this thing on the deck. Okay, so we've got our...
Showing nails 10 o'clock.
Nails at 10 o'clock. They better leave us alone. If I get shot down as I'm getting on the deck, I'm going to be pretty upset. Alright, so our... Alright, so Overlord's directing them. Not that I didn't expect him to, but Overlord's directing them. 25,000 feet. Alright, so we are closing in. The deck is impossible to see from here. That's a lot of fun. I basically can't bolter or go around because I don't have any fuel, so we're going to have to do this first try. We're 5 miles out. The dash is just lit up to show us, or the HUD is just lit up on the right side to show us our altitude, which means we are up under 2,000 feet. So, let's just go ahead and get this right and be done. We've got a pretty stable approach. I guess that's the good news. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I just desperately am waiting to see the deck of this thing, but it hasn't popped up yet. And obviously our attitude, not our attitude, but our flight path indicator is way below the deck, so we're gonna have to kind of wait that out. Yeah, we're way low. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that a little bit. First thing we're gonna have to do is not keep falling out of the sky. Or fall out of the sky less, I guess. I mean, technically 3 degrees. Okay, there's the deck. I can see the deck from here. It is hard to see. It's right above the gun pipper, basically. I'm just trying to, there we go, get us back on the flows. So we are just drifting down. Like I said, I don't want to make any huge changes because we've got a decent rate of descent. We've got a decent flight path. We're pretty stable. Now we're too high. And we are way off to the right, or to the left. I'm going to try to fix this. A little bit further. Oh my god. Trying to stay out of wave off because I just got to put this on the deck. Here we go. I cannot believe I pulled that off in the dark. I don't care what anybody says. That's a win.
Hook, skip, bolter.
No. We are not doing a hook, skip, bolter. We are on the deck. We're done. Let's get off of the deck. Let's put it all away, shut it all off, and go have a beer. Because who lands on a deck at night? Who does that really, right? No, but in fairness, that's one of the better landings I've ever had, much less at night. So let's get off the deck and then take a look at our stats, which will basically read nothing because we didn't shoot anything. But we'll probably have a 100 score because we did what we were tasked to do. So yeah, that'll be an exciting debrief. So we'll see you in just a minute. Alright, so as we kind of talked about, there is our debrief. We scored 100, which is all we could have hoped for. So yeah, that's a wrap. That's a 100, so victory. And on that note, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while we flew this campaign mission. Again, this is a new campaign. It's kind of got a new style to it, but it's just different. So some different elements. Definitely landing in the dark was new. The BARCAP was interesting. Chasing down the airplane. Chasing down the ships was different from anything we've ever done before. So a lot of new elements to this campaign. I'm looking forward to seeing where this campaign story takes us. But until then, if you'll make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so I know you're hanging out with me watching the content. Hit that notification bell so you know when I post new content in this campaign series. And I would appreciate all that. And from me to you, thank you for hanging out. I'll see you next time.